Good afternoon, I'm Elton Robinson with your June 24th grain and oilseed update. According to the Soybean and Corn Advisor, Brazilian farmers are harvesting disappointing second crop yields due to excessive rains at planting, too much heat during the season, then freezing temperatures which ended the season during grain fill. In some cases, producers may not have enough corn to fulfill their contracts. Let's take a closer look at U.S. crops. Based on conditions as of June 19th, 75% of the U.S. corn crop is listed in good to excellent condition. Only 4% of the crop is listed as poor to very poor. The planting of the U.S. soybean crop is essentially complete, with 96% of the crop in the ground. 89% of the crop has emerged. 73% of the crop is listed in good to excellent condition. 88% of the U.S. grain sorghum crop is now planted, and 17% is headed. 70% is listed in good to excellent condition. 21% of the peanut crop is pegging, which is ahead of last year's pace. 70% is listed in good to excellent condition. The U.S. rice crop is starting to head. Making the most progress are Louisiana at 34%, Texas at 19%, and Mississippi at 14%. 80% of the crop is listed in good to excellent condition. As of mid-June, about 25% of the winter wheat crop has been harvested. Arkansas leads the way with 81% in the bins, followed by California 75%, North Carolina 63%, Oklahoma 55%, and Missouri 49%. 28% of the U.S. spring wheat crop is headed, and 76% is listed in good to excellent condition. Let's move on to exports. This summary is based on reports from exporters for the week ending June 16th. Wheat exports of 580,000 metric tons were reported to Japan, Nigeria, the Philippines, Indonesia, South Korea, Taiwan, and South Africa. Corn exports of 1.2 million metric tons were down 20% from the previous week, but up 6% from the average. Japan, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, South Korea, Israel, and Venezuela were the primary destinations. Grain sorghum exports of 1,600 metric tons were down 99% from the previous week and 98% from the prior 4-week average, with China and Mexico as primary destinations. Rice exports of 47,000 metric tons, up 74% from the previous week, but down 10% from the prior 4-week average, were reported to Mexico, which took almost 50% of the exports, Japan, Canada, and Saudi Arabia. Soybean exports of 285,000 metric tons were up noticeably from the previous week and 96% from the prior average. The primary destinations were Bangladesh, Mexico, Japan, Indonesia, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Colombia. Soybean meal exports of 188,000 metric tons were up noticeably from the previous week, but down 5% from the average. Mexico and several South American countries were primary destinations. Soybean oil exports of 10,000 metric tons were up 46% from the previous week, but down 27% from the prior 4-week average. Pakistan, Mexico, and Canada were primary destinations. Beef exports of 15,000 metric tons was a marketing year high, up 12% from the previous week and 15% from the average. Japan, South Korea, Mexico, Canada, and Hong Kong were customers. Pork exports of 19,000 metric tons were down 10% from the previous week and 5% from the prior 4-week average. Well, that's it for this week's report. I'm Elton Robinson. See you next time.